So, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all so much for tuning in. My name is Cody Vondell, and I'm back today with another episode of Fixing Your Designs. In this series, I take your submissions from my Discord server and I play around with them, I touch them up a little bit, and I just elaborate on your ideas. Today, we're going to be looking at submissions from Kamaji, Lawrence, Sej, and Verb. Before we get started, I just gotta say thank you all so much for liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing my videos. It means so much that the work that I'm doing is helping you with your design process. And if you're following along with me on screen or using some of my Etsy templates, make sure to hop on our Discord server. We have an amazing community over there. It's constantly growing. We have all kinds of artists, musicians, producers, creators. We're sharing our works in progress, our free resources. It's an amazing community. Let's take a moment really quick to check out what everybody's been posting. As always, you guys are crushing it. I'm very thankful for everyone over there. And if I haven't spoken to you over there, I hope to see you there soon. If you want to support my channel and get yourself some really cool merchandise and graphic design templates, make sure to hop on my Etsy. I have pins and patches, t-shirts and hats, a variety of holographic stickers, and of course, graphic design templates that will make your workflow a breeze. And if you like my intro, outro, background music, I create it all. Just search Cody Vondell on Spotify or your favorite streaming service, and I'm also available on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. And of course, at Cody Vondell on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and with all that being said, let's hop on screen and start fixing some designs. So, Kamaji had a bunch of really cool contributions. I think I'm going to choose the Electric Dreams 1997 piece that he had there, and we're going to start off here with Geometry Dreams, a really cool font by Y2K. And just kind of playing around a little bit with what we're going to do here. I think we need to get these on some separate layers, and we also need to change what it says. So, Electric Dreams, that works now. Let's go ahead and go ahead and get these centered so that looks cool. So we're going to go ahead and paste the 1997 right down here, and already I think let's go ahead and get these all on separate pieces, on separate text layers. This is just not working for me right now. So what we're going to do is go ahead and select Dreams there and select Electric here. There, perfect. So now we have everything on its own. We could even it all out there. Cool. So that's looking cool. Ultimately, I think that's the basic idea that we want, but we want to go ahead and create outlines. We're going to go ahead and come in here and one by one meticulously kind of change out the rounded edges on all of these letters just to make sure everything's even and legible, but still very abstract. So this M is going to give me a hard time, so we're just going to have to go in here and manually fill in all these little pieces, but I think it will be worth it to get the desired effect. So that's what we're going to do right now, just fill in all those little parts. A lot of times you can select them all at once, but sometimes you got to go in here and just manually round out all these corners. So that's what we're doing right now. Takes you a minute or two, so we're just going in, just doing all of that. That one was nice. The R allowed me to select it all at once, and I believe the D will let me do that as well. So, perfect. The D and the R were a lot easier than those other letters. So, there we are. Electric Dreams all looks really good together now. Let's go ahead and create outlines on that one as well. And I think I want to possibly turn that one upside down. The 1997 is a little bit illegible in that font, but I mean, the font's very abstract overall. When we're kind of doing this, for fun, we want it to look like something really cool. It's a little bit less Y2K, I'd say, and a little bit more like sort of like a 70s sci-fi, which I feel sort of had a resurgence and a lot of played a lot of influence on some of the Y2K aesthetic. So I think playing around with this is still going to be a lot of fun. A little bit different than what we usually do, but still really fun sci-fi stuff. So kind of creating this this kind of look here already. This is looking pretty fun. Feels like it could be on some type of weird, trippy, you know, album cover from 1970s. That's kind of the vibe that I'm going for now. We've established it. That is the official vibe. Cool. Yeah, something like that is already looking cool. And yeah, I think maybe we could scale these in a bit so they're a little bit smaller. Copy those, paste them, transform them. Make sure these are all lining up right. We might want to group these things. Let's see how it looks without that. You know, I think I like that line there. It's always worth, you know, taking a look to see. That is not going to work for me. So there we go. The line works really well at the top, but not so much the bottom. So Electric Dreams, 1997. Let's see what else we can put in here. Maybe some kind of star or some little shape from one of my vector kits ought to work. So let's group those. Oops, we forgot to group these. Thought I did, but I didn't. There we go. And let's group these as well. Perfect. So now that those are grouped, we can make sure everything is very evenly dispersed. And that is looking pretty cool. So I think we can copy that and paste it into a brand new Photoshop document. So we're just getting all of our dimensions lined up. Let's make this as large as possible, and let's give it a background. I think we want the background to be sort of a dark color. And let's go ahead and use our exposure software. We're going to use eye candy on this vector shape that we just dropped in here. I think something maybe mall, office space. If I recall, office space is a cool looking one. So yeah, there we go already. Just got to let that fill in there. Eye candy. Boom. I think this is going to look really cool. Takes it a minute. There we go. So let's scale it down just a little bit. Get a little bit of space. We'll merge these layers and kind of put a cool pixelated color halftone kind of look over top of it. And check out those details. That turned out really cool. All right, our next contribution is from Lawrence. We're using one of those Hunter fonts called Rotom. So we're gonna stick with that same font that Lawrence is using already. We're just gonna play around a little bit with the kerning. And there was a whole lot of like vector shapes that they look cool, but I feel like they're maybe a little bit unnecessary. Let's go ahead and turn on our outlines and something like that. I mean, it's simple, but this font is just so abstract. Something like that, I think with some cool 3D shapes over top, it's gonna look really cool. So let's go ahead and create a brand new document, get all that set up, change our background color. We know we want that to be sort of a black color, and we'll bring these vector shapes up and just kind of pull some colors. I really do like the gradient that we use there, so we will keep that in mind. But I think what we can do here is we can just pretty much select all of the black parts of this vector shape, and we can apply, you know, that gradient, kind of get that looking right, feeling cool, something like that. Let's go ahead and rasterize that style, and let's use the exposure software again. Let's go to eye candy and play around, excuse me, play around with some of these metallic chrome effects. And already that's looking pretty cool. I think we could probably go ahead and fill in that background. So we've got the gradient, fill in the actual text itself. I think this will look cool. So now that we've got that gradient, I think we could also probably put on like a bevel and an emboss and just further add to that kind of cool 3D effect that we've already kind of built on using eye candy. This might be a little too over the top, but I think maybe just the bevel and emboss would look cool. So let's go ahead and rasterize that gradient. And we'll turn on bevel and emboss with that gradient. I think that'll look pretty cool. And with that outline, with the chrome effect from eye candy, I think overall this one's looking really cool without all of the vector shapes, with more emphasis on the, you know, the shapes of the letters and the metallic kind of chrome effect that we put on it. So once again, just playing around with different blend modes and stuff like that. And overall, I think we can copy and paste these all together, merge these layers, and add that really cool color halftone effect, make it sort of have a printed feel. Turn the opacity down and check out those details. So Sej had a bunch of different pieces for cyanide. I'm just gonna keep on kind of playing around with concepts, using some more fonts. I think some of these fonts could work for it, and I'm just gonna play around with a few ideas. I think I have something in mind, kind of playing around with that eye. I like the idea of instead of just having an eye, having like a cute little star. I almost like using like a happy, fun little font and a cute little star in juxtaposition with, the subject matter of the word. I think that might actually look kind of cool. So we'll play around with that concept. So we're, just gonna bust out one or two like really simple ones, but I think the third one will actually be a little bit cooler. We just want to kind of play around a little bit, just kind of get comfy with things, and I think this next one is where it's actually going to come together. So let's put those to the side. Let's play around first off with the kerning a little bit. We've created outlines and deleted the eye, the dot on the eye, and now we are pulling a fun little rounded edge star out of one of my vector kits, placing that up there over top of the eye, so it kind of has a fun little, it has like a happy, fun, like inviting kind of element to it, which it shouldn't have given the subject matter. So I think that's kind of what we're playing with here. So we'll kind of place that down over top of that, play around with like placement and like the outlines a little bit. Kind of play around with the star. Just kind of make sure things are looking comfortable there. Yeah, that looks cool to me. God, how long do I do this? Okay. And next we can just add in this little little ring kind of flare thing going on over here. And we just want to make sure it's feeling comfortable, make it feel right. So maybe something like that could look cool. That is pretty fun. Just kind of like a shooting star kind of vibe. That's fun. I think I like that. So that actually works. And we could try a little bit just to see what this looks like. I don't think we'll keep it, but just to play around with the concept. It doesn't look bad, but it's unnecessary. So yeah, we'll keep it like just simple like that. I think that's really cool. And yeah, that works. All right, and our last submission is verb. I actually took a few minutes to draw this out since it's more of a graffiti based piece. So I just took the pen and pad, drew up some basic ideas really quick. And now we are in here actually in Illustrator building the vector pieces for this. So this is not using a font at all. This is all custom lettering, and we're doing it really quickly. So, I mean, it's not, the most thought out, but it's fun, it's working, and having a fun time with it. So the R and the B, I like them, but I feel like they're a little bit illegible. But still, like I said, we're just kind of quickly doing this, having fun. It is like sort of graffiti inspired, so that happens. Just getting all of our edges set up real quick. And I think for this A, what I'm gonna do is kind of go a little bit off of what I drew here. I think we're gonna, instead of getting it that extra edge on the side there, something like that ought to work. Cool. And we'll probably end up stretching that A out a little bit because it feels really skinny compared to the rest of these shapes, these letters. So just getting the basic trace done now, and then after that's finished, we can actually go in there and kind of, play around. I always like to kind of round out the corners so they're not totally sharp. I think we're gonna redo that end. That end just did not turn out the way I needed it to. So redoing that really quick. All right, so that is feeling a lot more comfortable. Let's get this K knocked out really easily and quickly. Something like that ought to work for me. The subtle curves, I want to make sure I get all of those. And that is cool. So now we have our letters over here. So let's do a couple of iterations of this. I know that I want to kind of play around a little bit with like just the overall kerning and stuff like that. So yeah, things are feeling a little bit more comfortable there. I do need to make that A a little bit wider, but I haven't done that yet. I will though. We can turn it just a tiny bit, make sure things feel even here. So we can bring these down a tiny bit. This one's very abstract, but it's very fun, so. Something like that ought to work. Cool. So let's clone these, we'll group them, and let's go ahead and play around with those rounded edges. So I already know I like the rounded edges look. We just need to decide how round we want the edges and how much space we want between the letters and all that kind of stuff. And I think that A still needs to, I need to fill in the space in that A, so we'll do that really quick. And we will select these two pieces and use our Pathfinder tool. And now I'll just go in there and manually play around with all those edges. Cool, so that is feeling nice. Still, the R and the B are a little bit illegible, but you know, we're quickly going through here and having fun with it, so that's gonna happen sometimes. It is looking pretty cool though, overall. The A still needs to get a little bit wider, but overall, we can copy these and kind of paste them in and just see how things are looking. I think we might want to, his really reminds me of like Jet Set Radio, like the original Jet Set Radio. And I think I want to do something that kind of has sort of a fun like sci-fi graffiti kind of look. So maybe we can put in like something like this. I don't know. I hope this idea works. I think it should. Actually, that actually turned out pretty cool. Something like that. Yes, that is exactly what I wanted. Like little wings coming off of the edges of my letters. Yeah, cool. And maybe we can copy these and paste them down here. And just need to flip them horizontally a little bit. And rotate them a bit. So yeah, that's actually looking pretty cool. And we will just reverse those out. Maybe we can make this film just a little bit more comfortable, something like that. It's not perfect, it's not totally even, but it's fun. It's looking pretty cool. So let's go ahead and drop it into Photoshop and see what all we can do with that. Just kind of playing around with the color, and we'll add a little bit of like an outline around it. Something else, I think, make it fill in and look cool. So he has that particular shade of yellow. That's like the Verb brand identity yellow, so we want to make sure we get that. And we're going to play around with the stroke on that just a bit. So already this is turning into something that I'm pretty stoked about. Still need to massage the letters just a little bit. That A is really skinny, but overall we're just getting like a Photoshop basic setup, how we want to do it. We can, you know, repaste this shape in here. So overall, looking pretty cool like that. Pretty happy with it. So those were a lot of fun. I really love doing these collaborative things with my friends over on the server. And if you'd like to watch me play around with some of your ideas, make sure to hop on our server, go to the Fix My Design channel, and post your work. Links are in the description. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I have a ton of fun content planned for 2023 that you do not want to miss out on. And if you want to check out some of my recent work, I recently made a new episode in the Best 3 Y2K Font series. For New Year's, I made a video showing my background creating art and music in the 90s and the 2000s. I just did a video breaking down my new metal heart vector kit. There's a free version on my Discord, so make sure to check that video out and come get some free design assets. So that wraps us up for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I can't wait to talk to you on my Discord server, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you all.
It's